What's up, Netrunners? Welcome to PeachHack. My name is Ben, and I am joined once again by Randall. How you doing, Randall?
Hey, how's it going, Ben?
I'm doing great. It is the grand finals of the Giga-bites Cafe Store Championship in Marietta, Georgia on January 24th, 2015. This is it for the regional buy and a bunch of store credit and some awesome prizes.
Yeah, let me just say that I'm proud to be here commentating these last few games. This was my tournament, TO, and very proud of the guys, all 46 players we had here.
Yeah, I was going to say that. Randall was the TO for this tournament, and we really appreciate you running this tournament. It was a fantastic event, almost like a mini regionals with 47 people there. But in this grand finals, on the left, we have Kevin, who is playing as HB Engineering the Future, and he is playing against Ahmed on the right, who is running as Kate McCaffrey. HB gets a credit the first time they install a card each turn, and Kate can lower the install cost of the first program or hardware she installs each turn.
Two cards that just, let you play the game like normal.
Yeah, they've been around since the core and still are really, really good. And now this is sort of a rematch. You can watch these two players play from the winners finals on the channel. You can see how that turned out, where they played opposite roles, where Kevin ran and Ahmed played Corp. But here we are in this grand finals. This could be it. And right now we just see Kevin icing his centrals and taking a buck. Pretty standard for your HB players.
Ahmed plays prepaid voice pad in case you weren't sure what kind of deck this was.
Yeah, prepaid already coming out turn one. That's exactly what you want to see as Kate. Dirty Laundry on Archives will net 4 credits with that prepaid. And prepaid, just a really interesting sort of archetype. Lets you kind of explode in credits from nothing. It can be at 0 credits, lucky find, suddenly you're at 9. You can really surprise the corp where they think they have a scoring opportunity and suddenly they don't. Now, another thing I'll say is Kevin's HB deck has been undefeated all day thus far in the tournament. This is the grand finals. He's made it through 5 rounds of Swiss and the cut, and this HB deck is undefeated.
And now this HB deck is doing really well, and in a couple of other store championships, HB decks have done really well as well. This came up in the forum the other day, Ben. Why do you think HB doesn't see as much play?
Honestly, well, I don't necessarily. I would kind of disagree saying that it doesn't see much play. I see it all the time. Engineering the Future is a great kind of generic ID that you can do lots of stuff with. You can fast advance. You can glacier. I guess those are 2 different directions, but it's still really good. And even some of the other HB IDs, you might not see them as much. Like Cerebral Imaging or Next Design or the Foundry, they're not quite as common. But, I don't know, I still see HB quite a bit, personally.
So Ahmed's played down Mimic here, and what's under his hand?
I think it's the same old thing
Yes.
underneath his hand. And, yeah, Kevin taking his time, installing, gaining money. No rush for him yet. A Mimic coming out for Ahmed. Does Dirty Laundry this server? Is it a Jackson? No, it's a daily business show. A really great card. I mean,
Only one influence.
Only one influence, and it came out somewhat recently, for when this tournament came out. And Ahmed decides not to trash it. These days, I've been feeling like daily business shows are almost a mandatory trash.
I mean, especially with as much economy as Kate generates with this prepaid deck.
Yeah, and that Mimic was a great call. Ooh, and a Vitruvius off the top. Ahmed able to get through Architect, which is in faction, with Mimic. And then in Maker's Eye, maybe he'll get even more agendas.
Not letting up at all.
Nope. But that daily business show is going to let Kevin get through any sort of R&D lock a lot faster. But yeah, daily business show, it's such a good card for increasing like the resolution of your draws. It's like a Mr. Lee every turn for free, almost. Yeah, he does decide to res it and take advantage of it. This could be a mistake of Ahmed not to trash it. We'll see. Maybe he was just concerned about going too low credits, too low of credits early game. But we do see a hedge fund out of Kevin. Going to bring him up in money as well. But Ahmed is at that early lead.
Well, Ahmed has a lot of signed cards over here. He had some in the last game. He had some over here.
And it looks like Kevin installed an upgrade on R&D. That's an interesting way to install an upgrade, kind of hanging out with Architect. But that is an upgrade over R&D if you're wondering what that is. It was a great call to put down that Mimic because Architect is in faction for HB, so you're almost guaranteed to see it.
He's everywhere right now, though.
Yeah.
You're going to see Architect in almost any deck. Don't see it in Jinteki. Well, outside of Replicating Perfection, I don't see it in like PE decks or.
I don't know. It'd be an interesting included PE maybe. Though with PE, you're pretty much guaranteed to have a Sentry Breaker out for them before they face Check and Ice. In fact, there is a player that I know of who plays PE with 0 sentries for that reason, which is hilarious. Like they put the Mimic down, and they're like, "Why are you putting this Mimic down, man?"
Oh darn! You can't. You can get through my sentries now.
Oh darn! Yep. Daily Business Show once again for Kevin. He installs to gain a credit, and just content to take two more credits. We haven't really seen any indication about what kind of HB this is. There's not a lot of ice, so possibly not a glacier style.
I mean, if I see Daily Business Show hit the board, I'm going to assume it's fast advance and they want to get to their gens as fast as they can.
I think that's a decent call.
Because the glacier deck is going to be okay with you getting all your breakers out. They're still going to charge you for it.
Yeah.
But the fast advance really doesn't want that rig set up.
And we do see another Daily Business Show from Ahmed. Or Ahmed sees it, but he decides not to trash it. Good idea, bad idea?
Well, if he's trying to set up an R&D lock, that's got to be a really bad idea.
Sure. I mean, a single Maker's Eye, he'll see all 3 cards, pick one of them, and then suddenly new cards. So no R&D lock, but then again, if you're going to do a lot of R&D access, then it'll speed up how fast you see new cards, which is...
This is true.
You know, if you want an R&D lock or if you want to see a bunch of new cards, just, pick one. Ooh, we see a stim hack on interesting, on R&D for some reason. Why would he stim hack this?
In case there's...
Ooh, it's a Will of the Wisp. So Mimic will go to the bottom of Ahmed's deck.
And it is HB. Maybe he was thinking Ash.
Oh, yeah, that's true. He was probably thinking Ash. So that was a great meta call, I guess. And the brain damage, technically the brain damage is taken at the end of the run. But it kills the Maker's Eye. He only sees one card and there's nothing. And that clone chip is going to be useless because the Mimic is on in R&D, or excuse me, in the stack, not the heap for the runner.
So let's talk about stim hack for a minute. I feel like if I'm building a runner deck and I have 1 influence left, stim hack is going in.
Stim hack is such a good card. I feel like not a lot of people are playing it these days, but
if I could create a T-shirt for our meta, on the back of the T-shirt would say "Stim hack wins games" in big bold letters.
Yeah, there's a story from, what was it, Regionals?
Regionals last year up in Durham.
Yeah, one of our players, Ross, it was the finals of Regionals, I believe. And, well, I'll talk about that in a second. We have a Biotic Labor is going to score out an accelerated beta test for Kevin.
No Jackson out, but
he is
still
firing.
going to go for it.
Sees 3 cards. Ooh, and gets a Mother Goddess over Archives. Maybe telegraphing that there are agendas in there. Who knows? Anyway, story time. Ross, it was the finals of the regionals in Durham 2014. And Ross, he knew that did he know that there was an NAPD?
Yeah.
Yeah, there was an NAPD that he knew where it was. He just didn't have the money to steal it. And he lost the next turn, and he had a stim hack in hand, and they're like, "Dude, you have a stim hack. You got to that was the win."
One of his buddies actually made him some custom card sleeves with his face on a stim hack card. He runs to this day.
But yeah, StimHack is a great way to juke the corp even more, to say that you have more, to basically you get more credits than you think they have.
And if you're Chaos Theory, it's a great economy. Just pull it off of your personal workshop.
Yep,
that's the thing right now.
And speaking of first economy, we did see that lucky find from Ahmed, giving him a cool 8 credits for 2 clicks because of the prepaids.
One card I have never played.
Lucky find?
Lucky find.
It's so good, man. You should try it sometime. It is 2 influence, though, so it's tough to include. And Kevin installs another piece of ice over R&D for free since he's HB, and then takes 2 more credits. He has another remote. Is it another daily business show? We're about to find out. Ooh, it's a Jackson. So he's going to deny that that dirty laundry money. Very strategic, Jackson. Takes back, I think he took back Will of the Wisp and a couple of face downs.
Those ABT pulls.
Yeah. So perhaps those were agendas indeed. Good thing he found that Jackson in time. And we have the 3rd prepaid for Ahmed. Now, he is going to be in the money once he gets those. I mean, he's already sort of been in the money with the econ events, but
yeah, he's sitting at 14 still.
Yeah, I mean, a sure gamble is going to give you 7 credits, which is just insane, which is amazing. A single click, 7 credits. It's awesome. And another piece of ice going over R&D. And Kevin uses archive memories to take back that biotic labor. Does he have an agenda in hand is the question. Oh, and he has 1 more click. So nice of Ahmed to remind him of that. Just extra credit.
Ah, Netrunner community. So friendly.
So, you've got 2 points as Ahmed. It's 2-2. What are you thinking at this point? R&D is getting pretty protected, and you don't have any of your breakers out.
Well, he just pulled back that biotic labor, so
Yeah.
I'm thinking he's got to have something in hand. I don't know if he has an SMC in his discard, though. I mean, he has his clone chip there, but I don't know if he wants to run on that run on HQ or not. But then again, what is NBN really splashing that's going to hurt him?
So Ahmed is using same old thing on quality time.
Sorry,
So
HP.
he's gonna be drawing up a bunch of cards. So maybe he's able to find what he needs here. What breaker would that be? Ooh, he gets a lady. I'll look at him through Eli's. And there's an SMC. So he'll be able to fetch out that Mimic again.
We could already do that. He's got clone chip down there.
Oh, well, the Mimic is in his stack.
Oh, yeah.
Because
Will's put him on the bottom.
Put on the bottom, yeah. And is that all those clicks? I think it is, yeah. Of course, he has a maximum hand size of 4 because of that brain damage from StimHack.
Oh, look, and there's what appears to be another. Oh, he's just leaving his hand there. I was thinking he was installing an upgrade over there again.
Nope. That was just his double daily business show. His triple business show, you might say. Another remote. Free draw for Ahmed with that Astrolabe. Oop, and there's a biotic. Advance 3 times. We're going to see another agenda.
Yeah.
Ooh, another XL beta test. Will he fire? He will. Oh, boy. I always love it when people fire a XL beta test without Jackson. It's a free Eli.
It lost me a game in one of my store championships. I don't know how often I'm going to do that from now on.
And 2 cards in archives. Will Ahmed check it? The Mother Goddess is a Sentry. And an R&D interface. Looks like he's going to hit R&D instead. He's got a lot of money. So with 1
Kevin
credit.
only has $3.
Yeah, that's true. Alright. Ooh, we got an X Bronze. And that Mother Goddess is also now considered a next.
So it's everything. It's a rainbow now.
Yeah. But it's going to boost that next bronze to give it, another subroutine? I always get it mixed up. Or strength.
Which is weird because the barrier one adds a lot more subroutines and the code gate one adds more strength. And I kind of feel like those are backwards from the stereotypes of code gates and barriers.
And Ahmed pops the SMC to get the Zool out. The Zoo 13. and he's going to be able to bypass that bronze. But now he has to deal with the Architect. And then so he's going to clone chip the SMC, which he has enough memory for. And he's going to get that Mimic. There he is.
It is set up.
And that took away a lot of his money. Ooh, and he sees a Vitruvius. Tit for tat, you scored accelerated test, I steal a Vitruvius. And,
oh no, the runner only has 3 credits.
well, yeah, the prepaids are used now. But all he needs to do is find a Sure Gamble or a Lucky Find, and then he's going to explode in economy again, yeah. So, yeah, Kevin in a bit of a rough place here with only 1 credit. I mean, you just got to build up economy here. You can't. The RAD is vulnerable. I mean, it costs a lot of money to get through. Let's see, 1 for Eli plus, I think, 2 for the bronze and 2 for the Architect. Well, I guess it's only 5. But
yeah, I mean, you just got to trust your deck at some point here.
Yeah. Ahmed plays Sure Gamble. He's back in the money, draws a card, and makes a run. And it was the next Silver. So, yeah, Silver does gain more and the run subroutines. So it has 3 and the runs. And it's strength 1, I believe. So, yeah, you have to use 2 lady counters to get through it. And now that lady is completely empty. And then the bronze now is strength 3 because of the 3 nexuses. And then he can get through the Architect. He's going to C2. Nothing.
So now you're in this awkward position of having that lady out there with no counters, but you can't just trash her to use that clone chip you have.
Oh,
you got rid of the clone. Oh, no, it's still on there.
Yeah. And I think that was accidentally a 5th click. I think he Sure Gambled, he drew, he ran, and I think he installed... Oh, he installed the R&D interface is what it was. And then, so since he installed the Parasite, he only installed the Parasite for 1, which is also a mistake.
And Ahmed's usually such a clean player.
He is. Well, actually, what happened on that turn is that after the run, Kevin was like, "Okay, so that was your 2nd action." I think they both lost track of clicks, and then Ahmed was like, "No, that was my 3rd," but it was actually his 4th.
And then, when Netrunner first started, and the effects weren't that interactive, it was basically an I go, you go game.
Mm-hmm.
The click trackers weren't quite as necessary, but the more complex runs get and the more expensive they get, I feel like people need to go back to using the click trackers.
Sure. I've definitely been using it, at least as runner, because 4 clicks can be tough to keep track of.
Well, if I had a super awesome click tracker like yours, I would use it too.
So, yeah,
we got rid of the barrier,
sure,
so
yeah.
R&D's a little cheaper now.
And R&D is really where the game is here in terms of preventing fast advance. The Daily Business Show is going to get through any sort of R&D lock, like we said. And I think what Ahmed is doing right now is trying to figure out if he wants to levy yet. He does have same old thing. We did see him discard a levy.
I mean, how many Sure Gambles have we seen?
Sure.
2, if not 3 Sure Gambles. We've seen at least 2 Lucky Finds.
And a note from earlier, the lady is in the trash because Ahmed asked Kevin say if it was okay to trash the lady when he installed the Parasite, which was very nice of him to do also. So lady's in the trash where it needs to be because of any sort of clone chip you can get it back with. Or if you levy, then you'll be able to draw it again later. Now, what is that remote out there? Is that new? I think that's a new remote for Kevin.
Yeah.
And, it's another Daily Business Show. Quadruple Daily Business Show. Well, triple. There's 3 of them, but you draw 4 cards.
Quadruple draw.
Quadruple draw.
Apparently, it's a really good show.
It's a super duper show. Like this is an express delivery almost every turn, except you don't have to shuffle your deck, which is insanely good. Especially if you're a fast advanced deck and you want to make sure you get exactly the cards you need. I mean, holy cow! 4 cards, pick one, put the other 3 on the bottom of your deck. It's so good. I mean, you'll go through your whole deck a couple times with that. Ooh, it'll legwork on HQ.
What if there's any kind of deck to be made where you could just daily business show, pull everything except your agendas and leave them on the bottom of your deck and try to net damage the runner out and just stall by putting your agendas on the bottom?
And Kevin only had 3 cards in hand, and none of them were agendas. But one was a biotic labor, so all he has to do is get up enough money and then daily business show into an agenda and biotic it out, and you're at 6 points. Whew.
And if he has domestic sleepers in there,
I don't know. I don't think you would probably run domestic sleepers in this sort of deck because they kill your agenda density. I mean, sure, if the runner steals it, then it does nothing, but those could be, you know, more useful cards.
yeah, I think they're better served in any kind of glacier deck that does 3/5s just to fill it out.
Yeah, also, it's great archer food if you're doing glacier. Ahmed content to build up. Not going to hit R&D yet. I just have to laugh watching Kevin draw 4 cards and pick one. This is just awesome.
Now, what do you pick here, though? Because, I mean, do you put your agenda on the bottom and take, say, a hedge fund here that will get you up in credits? Because right now, even if you take that agenda, you still can't score it.
Sure. I think economy would be the correct choice here. And he installs an upgrade on top of that daily business show. Could it be? Well, he's not got no ice over it, so it's probably not Will of the Wisp. This is fast advance, so would it be maybe a Sansan? Which is an interesting choice to put it there. I guess he doesn't want to give Ahmed a free draw with Astrolabe, if that is a Sansan.
I mean, he still gets the credit.
Yeah, he still gets the credit for the install and denies Ahmed a draw with Astrolabe. And if you're running Kate, then you've got, you know, event-based economy, so you want him to draw fewer cards. He's at 10 credits, which is respectable.
Yeah. Any other player, I might not give them quite the respect to think that they're thinking that far about the game, but yeah, Kevin is just a fantastic player.
And we see an SMC and then a stim hack on R&D, the second stim hack of the game. I wonder what he wants to use that SMC for. So it'll cost him 1 in a lady counter to get through Eli, and 2 strength on bronze.
Yep, and break.
Ooh, gets the Gila hands up to 5. And takes a brain damage. Yeah, I really wonder what he's going to use SMC for. Maybe he's expecting Will of the Wisp again to come out eventually, and it's just a denial for it. It is a Sansan. He's going to spend $5 to trash it. Can't let that live. Yeah, I guess he's expecting Will of the Wisp again, and SMC is going to let him just pull that breaker right back out.
I mean, if you have 5 memory and nothing to use on, you know you're about to use Levy to reshuffle, you may as well get it out there. Otherwise, it's stuck in the middle of your deck until God knows when.
Sure. And Ahmed's deck looks extremely thin. He's only got maybe 2 or 3 cards left. It's hard to tell. But another upgrade on... that is an upgrade? Oh, yeah, that is an upgrade. He's just getting the 1 for installing. Perhaps another Sansan. That would make Ahmed broke. Of course, he is playing prepaid. He could explode an economy without even seeing. Nope, he does decide to use the Levy right here. So his first 2 credits are to Levy. Need to make sure you get the Levy out of the deck, which is important. So yeah, that was the same old thing on the Levy. Pop same old thing to get it out. There it is. Goodbye. Go away. And shuffle. So, presumably... I think it's. I don't know what other upgrades Kevin would run besides Will of the Wisp and Sansan that we've already seen. I kind of doubt he's running Ash in a fast advanced deck. So I have to guess that that's another Sansan on that daily business show.
Yeah, I mean, especially not out there in the middle of nowhere. He doesn't have enough, economy advantage over him to make Ash useful.
Yeah. This is a bit of a slog here. A back and forth between these 2 players, staying extremely early. or staying extremely even. Both players definitely want this.
But I mean, you asked me last game we recorded as to who does better as the game progresses, and I think this is a good example of the runner slowly climbing back up, being able to take advantage in the late game, because now Kevin's kind of under the gun here with the knowledge that at any given time Ahmed can probably get into any of his servers.
Now, Kevin does have that biotic still in hand, I think, right? We haven't seen any more biotics.
Right. Still just fishing for an agenda.
And Ahmed was discarding that Ahmed because he was over hand size. And there's that lucky find exploding in economy again. So Kevin is protecting R&D here because he's basically just waiting for an agenda to come. So all the agendas, I think that's a pretty easy telegraph that the agendas are in R&D. Not only because he's icing up more, but because he's got the biotic in hand, and any agenda that comes into his hand I think is going to be bioticed out. So to get through, this will cost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for the next, and then 7 for the Eli and 2 for the Architect. So 9 total. So these 2 cards and whiffs. 9 to get into that server, which is exactly what you get from a prepaid Lucky Find. How about that?
Also what you get from a stim hack. What up?
And what you get for a stim hack.
Because stim hack wins games.
Stim hack wins games. It's true. Ahmed does not check that remote, or not the remote, the upgrade. We do see a new remote and taking money, so that isn't an agenda. It's not being bioticed out. My guess would probably be a Jackson, I think. Unless that's a Sansan. Dirty Laundry onto that upgrade. There's Sansan.
Yeah.
You gotta trash it.
Although, do you at this point, I mean, he has a biotic in hand. We've seen the biotic. We know he's been seeing 4 cards a turn. Odds are he's got another one. Is it really worth 5 credits at that point?
Well, I mean, a Sansan with a biotic will let you score an NAPD out of hand.
That's fair.
It's a lot of money, but it'll let you do it.
But it's still another agenda that he can, push through.
Mm-hmm. Indeed, that was a Jackson, and Kevin decides to pop it before he does his gigantic business show. It's like a business convention. It's like a trade show. Every turn.
People come and pitch all their new ideas.
You got your booth set up.
Single female lawyer.
All right. The biggest business show is fired. And now, what did Jackson back? I think both of those Sansans he left.
I thought I saw him pull back another Will of the Wisp.
I think Will of the Wisp was probably a mistake at this point because of that SMC. But we do see an install on a biotic, so we see another agenda. There it is, a Vitruvius. It is 6-5, very close to game point. The next agenda could be the game.
And he has 6, which is the magic number for HB.
Because of domestic sleepers?
Well, no, you install and you get the 7 credit.
$6.
Yeah,
There
when you
go.
install your...
I thought you were talking about agenda points. Yeah,
oh, no.
6 credits is the magic number for HB, yeah. And Eli gets rezzed over HQ. There's only 2 cards there. Probably just wants to eat those lady counters. I kind of doubt there's any agendas in HQ at this point. And it's sort of just a desperate dig at this point. Ahmed is probably going to want to... Ooh, another stim hack. Yeah, he's going to want to go into R&D, and it'll cost 9 to get in, so he'll just use all of his stim hack money. So, yeah, 1 in the counter, then 3 and 2. So use 2 cards. Neither of them are the winning agenda. and takes a brain damage. He's at 3 brain damage now. Maximum hand size of 2.
Waiting for the snare splash out of Kevin.
Oh yeah, I just decided to put this snare in here. Oh, what's that? You have 2 cards? Oh, that's too bad. Yeah, I mean, that's a lot. Let's see. We've seen Sansan itself is a lot of influence. Then Daily Business Show, Jackson, and you're out of influence at this point, almost. Actually, you might be out of influence at that point. You can't math right now. Money.
Jackson and Daily Business Show are 1 each, so you're looking at 6 there.
6, and I think Sansan is 4.
So you can only have 2 Sansans.
Yeah.
So you're looking at, yep.
So then you have 1 left over somewhere. Maker's Eye. Gonna see 3 cards. This could be it. He's got 13 credits. Cost him 9 to get through. Or wait, no, but there's the lady. So hold on. He's got to SMC for another lady, or clone chip for a lady. Does he have the money for this? Because lady will cost 3 to install plus 2 from SMC, because I don't think he has one in the trash. So that'll be 5, and then he only has 8 left over to get to the server.
You're looking at 3 for each of the next ice. You're looking at...
Yeah, because 9 to get into the server, and he'd be left with 8 if he SMC'd for a lady. And I think this is click 3, so he could click for a credit and then Maker's Eye. I think he took back the Maker's Eye because he's rethinking this. Lady is a great breaker, but it is limited time. Does he have one in the trash? I don't think he does. I haven't seen one get trashed. If there was, then he can just clone chip it out. But
and this is one of these things that I love about Ahmed as a player. So if you see him playing multiple games, Ahmed is going to take the most direct, obvious play, but he's going to make it the right way. He is going to make it happen in ways you wouldn't even think about.
I mean, he's a great player. He's in the grand finals.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm not saying anything bad about him at all. He figures out how to make it happen.
So, yeah, it looks like he does take that credit and then uses the Maker's Eye. That'll give him enough money to spend 2 on SMC, and then 3 because of Kate to install Lady, and then that'll leave him with 9 left over to get through the server. So he'll be broke, but he will see 3 cards. This could be the game.
Or it could be an APD.
Or it could be an APD. Steals. Ooh. Oh, that's only Gillihan's, though. That's not it. 2 more cards. Oh, he sees 4 cards, right, because of R&D interface. Still nothing, though. It is 6-6. It could not be closer than this.
Kevin needs that 4th card to be an agenda.
Yeah, and since Ahmed saw 4 cards and stole 1, then there's only one of these cards that Ahmed didn't see. But the RD lock is now broken. Archive memories for a biotic. Ooh.
I wonder if it was an agenda.
I'm pretty sure it was a biotic.
No, I mean, I wonder if it was an agenda. He saw the 4th card.
That's true. Yeah, so Ahmed saw all but one of those. If that wasn't agenda, or he could have had the agenda in hand, I suppose. But, I mean, holy cow. So, all right. So he archives memories for a biotic. Does that mean he has the winning agenda in hand? Or does it mean he's just waiting for the winning agenda to pop up? Okay. Wow.
I almost wonder if it wouldn't be worth it to put one more piece of ice on R&D at this point. Like, you know Ahmed can get in, and right now he's broke, but if you can buy yourself even one more turn, drawing for a turn.
I mean, a lucky find is going to make him unbroke. Which he can do, but...
And even then, a lucky find is going to get him in that server.
The lucky find will get him into R&D once. He'll see 2 cards.
Did you not want to trash your lady when you saw the other lady?
Kevin asking if he wanted to trash the lady when he saw the other lady. Of course he would. Thank you, Kevin.
I don't know. There's a level to my niceness. If you ask me if you can do something, then I will probably let you, but I don't know if I'm going to suggest plays for you.
So, I mean, what have you got to be thinking at this point? All right, so, okay, you have a lucky find in hand. That's awesome. You're at 9. I think that's for sure what you want to do, but you only have 2 credits left, and Kevin could win the game next turn. He has the biotic labor. He has the money to use it. Does he have an agenda in hand? Ahmed has 2 clicks. He could run HQ twice, maybe see if there's the agenda there. But that biotic pull could just be a bluff, and he's just pulling it to wait for a scoreable agenda to pop up in his hand.
I don't know. I would probably run HQ twice. That's just me.
So, I mean, we've seen a lot of agendas already. We've seen all 3 Vitruviuses. We've seen 2 Gila-hands and 2 accelerated beta tests. So that's presumably he's running 3 accelerated beta tests. So that's 6 from the Vitruvius, 6 from the beta tests. That's 12 plus 2 more from the Gila-hands is 14, leaving 6 agenda points unaccounted for. I would have to assume that NAPD is going to be the last 3.
You got to think one of them is APT and then 2 more for APDs.
So the agenda density left here would be 1 accelerated beta test and 3 NAPDs.
I mean, at least if you run into HQ and you hit an NAPD, you have enough money left to steal it. But if you make that big run on R&D and you pull an APD, you're just going to kick yourself.
Exactly.
And that may be why you pull back biotic. He may need 2 to push the NAPD through.
Sure, assuming he has the second one, yeah.
Which 11 will do.
So you can't just make a run on R&D and see 2 cards with these 9 credits, because he could hit an APD and then he wouldn't have the money to steal it. And this is game point. This is potentially the last turn of the entire game. And Ahmed is really thinking hard about this, with good reason, I think.
Cold, calculating individual.
Yeah. So, there's the double run on HQ play. There's the run on R&D play. And what if you get no agendas out of either of those? Like, you've got to...
I mean, at least if you run out HQ, you're set up, a little better for next turn.
Mm-hmm.
If you run R&D, this is probably your last shot.
Right. You don't want to go completely broke on R&D in case this isn't the last turn, right? Yep. Because maybe that Archive Memories pull was a bluff. Or at least just a preparation.
And I'm at checking archives there. He may have been checking to see if there were any more biotics in there.
To see how many biotics. Yeah, because if Kevin wanted to score out an NAPD, he'd have to double biotic it, which he could do. He would install, go up to 12, biotic, down to 4, and then score out with 4 credits.
It's a good move by Ahmed, trying to track where all the biotics are.
Mm-hmm.
One of the reasons he's a top player. I venture to say these are probably 2 of the top Netrunner players you will ever see.
I mean, Ahmed did get 3rd at Nationals in 2014. Certainly a very high caliber player.
Kevin chooses to build some slightly wacky decks, offbeat things, and sometimes it can cost him in those bigger tournaments, but he still does much better with those off-color decks than a lot of people do with regular decks. Like, I would be terrified to play him with a real deck. And
Ahmed spends his 3rd click to draw a card, so I don't think he's gonna double run at HQ. I think he's gonna gotta make 1 run on R&D here with these 9. So what's it gonna be? Oh, it's a stim hack. So he could steal an NAPD if he says 2. So he spends those 9 stim hack credits. Oh, and he gets the accelerated beta test and wins off the top. Oh my gosh.
Stim hack wins games.
What a game. What a finish.
Did you have it in hand? No.
Yeah, so Kevin did not have the agenda in hand. But he would have won next turn with that accelerated beta test with the biotic labor. Wow.
He won if Ahmed had trashed any of the 4 cards he accessed earlier, too. Except Ahmed's broke.
Oh, man.
It's exciting. Good finish to the day. Good finish to the tournament.
You cannot ask for a better way to finish out a tournament. A 6-6 game. Winning with a stim hack.
And they're going to go home and celebrate by going to sleep.
Randall, thank you so much for joining me on these games.
Thanks for having me, Ben. Good to be here.
And thank you to everyone watching. We're going to have another store championship coming up on the channel soon. But for now, I will see you next time.